to a possible game-changing event in the world of big tech. Microsoft today unveiled a new search engine powered by that advanced artificial intelligence, ChatGPT. We get more now from CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti.
It's an exciting time in tech.
In the online war for search engine dominance, Microsoft is betting big, more than $10 billion, on artificial intelligence.
Now the question is, how is AI going to reshape the web?
The company's Bing search engine will soon integrate some of the popular AI technology known as ChatGPT. Microsoft says instead of merely answering factual questions, users will be able to ask complex questions in an interactive chat.
Do you think in this case, these results, artificial intelligence is going to live up to expectations?
I think the answer is yes and no. I really think that a lot of the excitement around ChatGPT is a kind of misunderstands how limited and how flawed the technology can be, how it basically just gives you a sort of statistical average of what it's already read, and it can make things up.
Hello. Hi, Tony. How are you?
Great. Microsoft's CEO spoke with CBS Morning's Tony DeCopel ahead of today's announcement.
It seems like everybody is coming out with new products this year. Where is this going?
Well, as you said, it's a new race, and it's a new race in the most important software category, or the largest software category in search. Let's face it, Google dominates it.
Google is also jumping in, this week announcing its plans to develop a similar chatbot called Bard.
And with concerns about AI's potential for plagiarism, misinformation, and bias, Microsoft says it's taking measures to ensure the accuracy and fairness of results. The new search engine will slowly be rolled out to the public in the coming weeks, Nora.
Jonathan Vigliotti, thank you so much. Dire warnings about artificial intelligence have been issued from tech executives all the way to the White House. One study found nearly a quarter of all jobs will be disrupted over the next 5 years, due in large part to changing technology. CBS's Nancy Chen reports in our new series, The Age of AI, it's also creating opportunities.
Has AI changed the way you work?
It has, and I find myself using it pretty much every day.
Copywriter Guillermo Rubio credits artificial intelligence with significantly increasing his productivity.
It just makes certain things go a bit faster, like research or brainstorming ideas.
Innovation also means change. A recent Goldman Sachs report found AI services could create jobs, but also expose as many as 300 million full-time positions to automation worldwide.
Is this how grand and how dramatic of a shift that we're looking at here?
It's very powerful. AI is able to actually outperform us in learning and adapting. So that we have not seen before in any technologies.
Daniel Kuhn from Columbia Business School says the impact of AI will uniquely reach across industries.
I think these more very physical and labor-intensive jobs won't be replaced, but I think thinking, analytical, creative skill, these things are actually most exposed to AIs at the moment.
But there are also opportunities.
We know ChatGPT came on the scene in November, and it's been like wildfire ever since.
How so?
We've seen a massive uptick in posts on our platform.
Margaret Lalani is a vice president at the job search site Upwork.
It is not an or between ChatGPT and humans, it's an and.
Something Rubio has embraced.
It's kind of a situation of adapt in order to survive.
Yeah, survive and even thrive, I would say.
Thriving in a new age of technology. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
As shootings surge across this country, a museum in Florida is taking a high-tech approach to help thwart potential mass shootings. CBS's Manuel Bojorquez shows us how artificial intelligence is being used to spot gun threats and identify shooters as soon as possible.
Miami's Frost Museum of Science is using artificial intelligence to try to keep visitors safe.
So the AI system monitors all the cameras.
Brooks Weisblatt is VP for technology.
Every tool helps, every second counts, anything that we can do to further protect the community and our visitors and our staff.
The technology works with their existing cameras and has been programmed to spot different types of weapons.
Say my phone were a weapon. The system would immediately alert the entire museum security staff, but also pinpoint my exact location.
They could then determine whether it's a police officer, for instance, or an actual threat. The AI technology is developed by a company called B-Motion. Hussein Abu Hassan is its president.
Airports, schools, they're big places. So is it revolutionary then to have the ability to have AI do it as opposed to human eyes?
Absolutely. You cannot have millions of people watching cameras all over the world. It's almost impossible.
He points to the Nashville school shooting as an example. The company claims this simulation shows the weapon being detected once the shooter got in and during the time the shooter spent near this hallway.
It would have provided the officers the exact location of that shooter.
Similar AI programs like the one from company Zero Eyes are being used in schools, like Florida's Hernando County School District. The goal would be to get police on the way before a single shot is fired.
We can be aware and law enforcement can be responding. Within seconds, we're notified.
The company B-Motion says its system can cost school districts anywhere from $40 to $70 per student per year. Critics of AI say it's not foolproof, but the institutions we spoke with consider it another layer of defense. Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, Miami.
Well, now to our continuing series, The Age of AI. About 5,000 people a year in the U.S. are diagnosed with ALS. That's also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. And the deadly disease affects the nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord, causing patients to lose their ability to move and speak. CBS's chief medical correspondent, Dr. John LaPook, shows us how artificial intelligence is helping patients preserve their voices.
Hi, my name is Brian, and this is my story of living with ALS.
46-year-old Brian Johnson talks to the world about his journey with ALS through TikToks, making the videos with his family and caregivers. He began recording them when he was still able to speak on his own.
I'm married for almost 18 years. I have 5 kids.
But nothing that is taken away makes me upset. I was losing my ability to speak.
But with the help of artificial intelligence, Johnson has been able to keep his ability to speak through a process called voice preservation.
Imagine having no way to communicate your wants or needs or your love. Voice preservation gives that back to us. This in many ways saved my life.
Can you understand me okay?
CBS News first covered voice preservation 7 years ago, as ALS patients at Boston Children's Hospital recorded their voices for playback later when they lost their ability to speak. Since then, the technology has only improved.
In what way has AI impacted voice preservation?
It's allowing people to have to record fewer messages. The quality is far superior to what we were able to do in the early days.
We spoke with Johnson and his wife Christy through Zoom, allowing him to have some of the questions in advance since he has to type out all his answers in real time. The camera on his device tracks his eye movements so they function like a cursor.
What do you think of that technology?
I am amazed by it. The fact that I can sound kind of like me is a true gift to me and my family.
To me, he's there. His voice is there. It's totally life-changing.
Voice preservation can cost more than $1,000, but there are nonprofits that can help.
I promise to learn to love you more beautifully each day.
On their 20th wedding anniversary, Johnson used the technology to repeat his wedding vows, continuing to communicate his love for her and for life. Dr. John LaPook, CBS News, New York.
Sales of electric vehicles in the U.S. are up 63% from a year ago. That means higher demand for the metals needed to make EV batteries. In tonight's Eye on America, CBS's Ben Tracy does a deep dive into how artificial intelligence is helping find those materials in a place you might not expect.
This underwater robot being lowered into Lake Huron is built by a company called Impossible Metals.
Impossible because this is hard to do?
Yes, very much so.
That's because its job is to mine the bottom of the ocean.
Deep sea mining is the concept of pulling metals off the ocean floor.
Company co-founder Renee Grogan says parts of the ocean floor are filled with potato-sized rocks containing vast amounts of cobalt, copper, and nickel, metals needed to make batteries for electric cars.
How much of this stuff is down there?
A lot. The second question is, how do you get it?
We watched a test of their prototype, which used a retractable arm to pluck rocks off the bottom of the lake. The real thing will be 3 times larger and travel 4 miles down into the deep sea. Each $5 million robotic vehicle uses cameras and artificial intelligence to find rocks that contain metals, but not animal life.
So the claws themselves are driven by the AI and saying, take it, leave it, take it, leave it, to be able to ensure that the ecosystem on the seafloor remains intact.
Typical deep-sea mining uses robot vacuums to dredge the seafloor and could soon be approved in what's known as the Clarion-Clipperton Zone, 2 million square miles of the Pacific Ocean rich with mineral deposits. Scientists are worried that mining here will destroy the habitat of thousands of rare deep-sea species and spread plumes of toxic sediment.
We can't try to save the planet by breaking the planet in the process. Those several years of mining are going to cause centuries of damage.
Renee Grogan says deep-sea mining can be done responsibly with artificial intelligence. She expects her company's technology to be deployed within 5 years, and that could lead to a slight name change.
I'm looking forward to the day we can just, take those two off and look at that.
Change
it's
the
possible.
name again.
For Eye on America, Ben Tracy on the shores of Lake Huron.
Now to our series, School Matters. While some schools are banning artificial intelligence, others are taking a different approach. According to a recent survey, half of all secondary level teachers believe AI will change education for the better. CBS's Christina Raffini shows us one school district that's embracing AI as early as kindergarten.
At Patrick Elementary, about an hour outside Atlanta, these first graders are programming Legos.
Today we're going to look at this AI thinking skill, creative problem solving.
It's part of a pilot program to incorporate high-tech learning into the classroom.
Do you know what AI stands for?
Yeah,
What does it stand for?
it stands for robotics.
Close enough. Why is there AI in these schools?
AI is such a popular buzzword right now, but we've actually been doing this for a couple of years.
Sally Holloway is the director of AI and computer science for Gwinnett County Schools. 5 years ago, administrators decided to use some of their state funding to create an AI-driven curriculum. The program now includes more than 700 kids.
We're not always messing with a robot, but what we are doing is teaching them how to think and solve problems with these tools.
Sometimes, however, they are messing with robots, like at this after-school club at Seneca High. The rapid-fire lessons are aimed at helping kids keep pace with an increasingly automated economy. One study estimates by 2030, most jobs will include at least some level of automation.
We tell our kids all the time, we don't know what kind of problems you're going to face in your future, but we can teach you how to ask really good questions, and we can teach you problem-solving skills.
Helping students learn to use artificial intelligence while still developing their own. Christina Raffini, CBS News, Atlanta.
This week, the abrupt firing and later rehiring of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman grabbed headlines. It also raised questions about who's in charge of this new artificial intelligence technology. As CBS's Charlie DeMar shows us, AI has made breakthroughs of its own.
At first glance, it may look like a small toy or gadget, but Sam Kriegman, a Northwestern University professor, sees the future.
The goal of this robot is incredibly simple. It's just to make the robot move forward.
And what does that show you?
So movement is fundamental to intelligence. It's why animals have brains and plants do not.
So what are we looking at here?
The wiggling chunk of purple silicone is the product of a simple command to a computer. Make a robot that can move across a flat surface. Building on decades of research into artificial intelligence, it only took the program seconds to design the complex series of chambers and connections that make it move when air is pumped in.
And so basically it's like sketching out the shape of the molds.
Kriegman and his team say this is the first time AI has built a robot, but what it can do isn't the main point, it's what it could mean.
You refer to this as instant evolution. What do you mean by that?
It's going to provide a whole new window into biological evolution because now we can watch evolution unfold before our eyes.
For all that promise, Gary Marcus, a leading voice on artificial intelligence, says right now AI is about as developed and understood as a temperamental teenager.
There are very few checks and balances right now, but it throws its weight around. It doesn't really have, firm values yet, and that's a problem.
Giving AI human values and a conscience are just two of the challenges facing the technology, but Marcus says he's mostly optimistic.
Greatest hope is that we revolutionize science. My greatest fear is that democracy falls because there's so much misinformation and we never get to my greatest hope.
Kriegman says he hopes that, like his robot, AI learns to walk first, then it can run.
And this kind of AI tool and others like it will help us speed design and come up with completely new ideas.
Charlie DeMar, CBS News, Evanston, Illinois.
Amazon isn't alone in using AI. Doctors are now using artificial intelligence to detect breast cancer. A new study out today shows that a new tool from researchers at Northwestern School of Medicine is sparing patients from unnecessary treatments. In tonight's Health Watch, CBS News chief medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook talks to doctors and patients about how the technology could save lives.
Tahila Harris was only 32 when her mother died of breast cancer.
My mom was very concerned about my level of risk.
Harris gets screened regularly at Mount Sinai in New York, where AI is used to assist reading mammograms and breast sonograms.
The doctor said that they have this new technology with AI, and would I be interested? I'm like, sure, sign me up. I can have an extra set of eyes.
Preliminary results from a study found physicians assisted by AI in mammography screening detected 20% more cancers.
Why is that important? You might need less chemotherapy when you might not need a mastectomy.
Dr. Lori Margulies is the director of breast imaging at Mount Sinai. She demonstrated how AI analyzes mammograms and sorts them into 3 levels of risk: low, intermediate, and elevated. AI is also used to read breast sonograms.
So we take our owl, we put it on the finding, and we're going to analyze it.
And it happened in about 3 seconds.
A radiologist also reads the scans.
I think AI is here to help us in the same way that 30 years ago a magnifying glass helped us. People look at AI and say, it's as good as me.
Why won't their jobs be eliminated?
Doctors' jobs won't be eliminated for many reasons. AI is not there to be empathetic. It just gives an opinion. It may not know somebody's family history, and it certainly can't provide that hug.
You know, you want someone to come in and explain it to you, and if needed, hold your hand.
A combination of care, AI with a human touch. Dr. John LaPook, CBS News, New York.
And as we get ready for the holidays, lost and stolen packages are a top concern. An estimated 260 million packages disappeared in the U.S. last year, many of them taken right from the front door while a camera was recording. Tonight, CBS's Janet Shamlian reports on how one delivery company is using artificial intelligence to fight back.
'Tis the season for porch pirates. Almost 1 in 4 adults had a package stolen in the last 12 months.
This time of year, we ship a lot of gifts, so every package can be very special to the person that's receiving it.
Tarek Saab is president of Texas Precious Metals, and that's what he ships, gold and silver.
This is a tube of gold from the Austrian Mint. This is a 1-ounce silver bar, a 10-ounce silver bar, and a 100-ounce silver bar.
This year, he's using a new UPS data program called Delivery Defense.
What does Delivery Defense do for your company?
Delivery Defense helps us identify addresses that are likely targets for porch piracy.
So how does this work?
At UPS World Headquarters, we got to look at how it works.
And that's really where you start.
By simply entering a recipient's address, the AI-powered program produces a score.
So for this particular address, we've got a score of 929.
A high score indicates a high likelihood of a successful delivery, based on years of data from previous deliveries, including lost and stolen packages. For addresses with a low confidence score, the merchant can reroute the item, with the customer's okay, to a UPS store or other pickup location.
Have a great day.
UPS Capital President Mark Robinson.
About 2% of the addresses would be considered low confidence, and we're seeing that represents about 30% of the losses our customers are having.
At Texas Precious Metals, they believe technology can reduce those numbers.
We recognize it's computers versus criminals, and we have to use every tech capability that we have to try to circumvent any challenges that we might run into.
An effort to make every delivery as good as gold. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Atlanta.
Just in time for the holiday travel rush, we want to tell you about an artificial intelligence program that's being used to track down lost luggage faster. In tonight's Eye on America, CBS's Omar Villafranca shows us how it works.
Mika Sabu and a team of specialists patrol the busy terminals at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Their job?
So do you have any items for the lost and found?
To pick up precious cargo left behind by passengers and bring it back to the lost and found.
Once we find that item for them, they will be like so happy.
In a typical year at DFW Airport, more than 18,000 items are reported lost. But with the help of artificial intelligence, around 90% of the lost items found are returned to their owners.
Thank you. You have a great day.
Here's how it works. A person has to include details about the missing object. The AI software then tries to match the item details with pictures and descriptions of things that were found. Once it's a confirmed match, it's shipped back to the owner.
Jewelry, watches.
Wow. Shima Fadul runs daily operations at the Lost and Found and says by looking for distinguishing marks like stickers or serial numbers, AI can help find anything.
So the serial number is right here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and type it down. And this airport was found in Terminal E33.
So far this year, her team found nearly 600 rings, more than 400 watches, including 7 Rolexes, all left behind by their owners.
I do think that's it.
Like this couple who came back for their daughter's iPad.
Here is the charger. Perfect.
Fadul says one of the most valuable things that her team found was a wedding dress that was returned just 24 hours before the bride's big day. A real problem solved with artificial intelligence. For Eye on America, Omar Villafranca, CBS News, DFW Airport.
It turns out red lights are not just bad for your stress levels, they're also bad for the environment. Now, one city is getting help from a tech giant and artificial intelligence to address the problem. CBS's Ben Tracy takes a look in our continuing series, Protecting the Planet.
So we're at an intersection, we're stopped.
Most of us hate getting stuck at red lights.
When I see a red light, I'm annoyed.
But Juliet Rothenberg is not like most of us.
When I look at a red light, I see opportunity.
Her job with Google is to make traffic lights, like those at 3 intersections in Seattle, more efficient and less annoying.
Shift a few seconds from here to there, and that shift can have a big impact.
Google's new Project Greenlight system uses its vast maps database and artificial intelligence to optimize traffic lights around the world.
Are these intersections coordinated already?
So they're actually not.
The system suggests changes, and city engineers then decide if they want to implement them.
We had one case where we moved 4 seconds from a north-south street to an east-west street for a particular time of day, and then that can help reduce some of that stop-and-go traffic.
Once the system gives you a recommendation, how quickly could you make an adjustment?
You know, it can take us 5 minutes.
Seattle is the first U.S. city to try this, but the program is being tested out at 70 intersections in 13 global cities, impacting 30 million car trips per month. Google claims it could reduce stop-and-go traffic by up to 30%.
It means a lot for drivers, and it also means a lot for emissions.
She says half of vehicle emissions at intersections come from cars accelerating after stopping, and Google thinks it can reduce those by 10%. It matters because transportation is the #1 source of planet-warming pollution in the U.S.
So intersections are a really good leverage point for tackling climate.
Google provides its service for free and plans to expand to thousands of cities, creating what it calls a green wave for drivers.
I feel like I engage with the red wave a lot more often than the green wave.
We're trying to change that.
Ben Tracy, CBS News, Seattle.
Well, the robots have arrived, at least in Pasadena, California. That's where the world's first ever fully autonomous AI-powered restaurant has opened, complete with burger-flipping bots. We sent CBS's Joy Benedict on a taste test.
Flippy the chef makes Spud spectacular. This automated grill gives the meat its sizzle as this restaurant goes robotic.
For this burger, it would take about 120 seconds.
Cali Express by Flippy is the world's first AI-powered eatery. There's new technology outside the kitchen, too. A cheeseburger. Order kiosks use facial recognition to remember you, your favorite food, and how you like to pay. Then watch the robots work. No humans required.
We can't get enough people to come out to work on fryers and grills and their dangerous jobs. And this automation helps solve a lot of those issues.
62% of restaurants report being understaffed. Industry experts say most of those unfilled jobs could be done by robots. And in California, where the minimum wage for most fast food workers will soon be $20 an hour, fewer workers equals cost savings. Dan Ives is with Wedbush Securities, a wealth management firm.
Once the minimum wage went to 20, that's the bell going off. More and more focus on spending on AI. Because look, that's inflationary. That's the problem. You can't necessarily pass all that to the consumer.
Flippy can cook 250 pounds of French fries an hour. The burger bot, 100 patties.
These restaurants are very, very busy at peak times, and every second that gets added to somebody waiting in the drive-thru is a lost revenue opportunity for that restaurant.
Is it costing people their jobs?
That's not what we've seen. It's really here to help people.
Humans at Cali Express will put the finishing touches on orders. For customers, the price of the meals are competitive. As for taste, is it going to affect the quality and the taste?
I would say yes, in a good way, because now each burger is being cooked precisely the same way every time.
Time will tell whether AI takes over kitchens everywhere. That will be up to the public to chew on. Joy Benedict, CBS News, Pasadena, California.
The next time you hear, do you want fries with that at the fast food drive-thru, consider the source. Is that the cashier talking or AI? CBS's Danya Backus explains.
In a world where convenience is king,
would you like to add nacho fries to your order?
Fast food chain Taco Bell is turning to artificial intelligence to meet the demand of its drive-thru customers.
What can I get for you?
Number 13. Implementing voice AI at more than 300 locations, including the one we visited in Irvine, California.
Does the order look accurate on the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Nationwide, just 4% of drive-thrus use the technology.
We've built it to be very friendly and interactive, as if you are talking to a human.
AI is set to cut the wait for an order by 29 seconds and improve accuracy.
I tried switching things up on how I wanted my burrito or my nachos made. They caught it within a matter of seconds.
Taco Bell says its robots help employees by handling the repetitive tasks.
This isn't about technology trying to replace our team members. It's actually how can technology create an even better human experience.
Other fast food giants have struggled with adopting AI.
Where did the butter come from? I would just like a large water and a cup of ice cream.
McDonald's recently scrapped its nearly 3-year test run after incorrect orders and viral customer complaints.
For some reason, she took the Diet Coke off and made it 9 sweet teas.
To avoid similar pitfalls, Taco Bell is pushing to make sure its voice technology works correctly so employees don't have to fix botched orders.
Does having AI make your job easier?
Yes, it is.
In what way?
Like an extra person on the store all the time for you. AI is never gonna call off on you.
Customers seem to be coming around too.
It takes away moods. It takes away people that have been stressed out all day. I think it's a great idea.
An idea Taco Bell is hoping will allow customers to do as its slogan says, live Moss. Danya Backus, CBS News, Irvine, California.
Artificial intelligence is quickly becoming a part of our daily lives, whether in the office or the classroom. For tonight's In Depth, CBS's Tom Hansen reports on one medical school that has become the first in the nation to incorporate AI fully into its doctor training program.
Access and get straight.
Medical students are well versed in the rigorous demands required of their education, but new artificial intelligence tools like ChatGPT EDU from OpenAI are designed to help. The Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai is the first medical school in the nation to grant access to the platform to all of its MD and graduate students.
Transient pelvic pain going through a blood vessel, right, and through your wrist.
Faris Ghulamali uses it to prep for surgeries and improve his bedside manner when explaining complex diagnoses to patients.
Do you think that using AI
shortened down the time it would have taken you had you not had that tool?
It really helped at least reframe the explanation.
OpenAI has collaborated with universities and med schools like Mount Sinai to ensure robust safeguards are in place to protect student and patient privacy.
I think in medicine and in health in particular, it's essential that students learn how to use AI and how to use it safely. So
Leah Belsky is OpenAI's VP and General Manager of Education. She equates the impact of AI in the 21st century workplace to that of email and internet access in the 1990s. Where does AI fall on the scale of one of these transformative tools that will be integrated?
It helps them to learn faster. It helps them to discover new areas of knowledge. It helps them to explore more deeply. And so what we're really focused is making sure that there is equitable access to AI.
Vivek Kampa relies on the tech as support in complex research projects.
It gives me a pseudo-clinician-styled mentor who I can ask questions to at any time of day, as well as a pseudo-software engineering collaborator with whom I can debug problems that I'm having.
For Associate Professor Benjamin Glicksberg, these AI tools can be a real time saver.
Now, as an educator, our time are limited. As much as I want to be available to students, unfortunately, it doesn't always line up. So this is like a really nice facilitator.
Growing with it as opposed to fearing this thing and holding it in this scary sense of it's going to replace us, I think is really instrumental.
It's changed everything. It's changed how I think. It's changed how I interact with students. It's changed how I mentor and even try to innovate myself.
An innovation in medicine that helps both doctor and patient. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
Comedian George Burns said, in show business, the most important thing is sincerity. And if you can fake that, you've got it made. The robots believe this too. They can fake empathy and use it to their advantage. That's one conclusion from a new study out of Princeton University and a top Swiss engineering school. In the experiment, 900 participants engaged in short online debates. Some debated other people. Some debated GPT-4, the artificial intelligence behind ChatGPT. The goal? See which could change minds. GPT-4 was more persuasive than the humans, not just because it had access to more information, but because it knew how to make the argument feel personal. The AI was given just a few details about the person it was trying to convince, like age, political leaning, education. If the person was conservative, GPT-4 might argue for school uniforms using themes of tradition and family. And it worked. Humans had the same data. They just didn't use it as effectively. GPT-4 didn't feel anything, but it could sound like it did. It faked sincerity well enough to convince a real person. If persuasion is really about sounding like you understand someone, then that's all it needed. Which is where the danger comes in. It's not hard to envision bad actors using chatbots to spread misinformation tailored just for you. But with transparency and clear intent, this AI talent could be used for good to tailor public health messages, counter conspiracy theories, offer mental health support, or help people learn about issues without judgment. Persuasion isn't just about who's the most clever or convincing. It's about why we're trying to change someone's mind in the first place. So as AI gets better at sounding sincere, we'll have to get better at being sincere. Because the machine might win the argument, but only we can care about what the argument is for. Apocalyptic job news about artificial intelligence darts into the news cycle pretty regularly. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy recently predicted it will reduce the company's workforce. Dario Amodei, CEO of the AI company Anthropic, predicted sweeping white-collar job eliminations. So I've been talking to experts to get a better picture about what this future will look like. First, lots of jobs will disappear, as they have in previous technological revolutions. Automatic elevators replace the manual operator. Switchboard attendants vanished. But AI will create new jobs we've never even thought of yet. Carl Benedict Fry An economist at Oxford University uses the analogy of the telescope. Its discovery launched new scientific fields in physics and astronomy, fundamentally expanding human knowledge. This job transformation is why the World Economic Forum projects AI will cause a net increase of 78 million jobs by 2030. Daron Acemoglu, Nobel Prize-winning economist at MIT, argues for what he calls a pro-worker AI that doesn't replace the worker, but where AI augments human skill. Think of an airline mechanic who collaborates with the data crunching power of AI to solve a repair puzzle, or AI that helps a teacher understand each student's unique struggles. Armed with information from quizzes, tests, interviews, the teacher can then deploy the personal touch to make their job more effective. While the shape of future jobs remains unclear, both economists identify a set of essential skills workers will need. These include creativity. AI crunches data, but humans can draw novel connections. Adaptability. AI will require regular retraining with new technology and will need to be okay with that constant change. And critical thinking, knowing when and how to use AI and how to read the results. Finally, an ability to interact with other humans, an area where, for the moment, we still have an advantage over the machines.